I've never seen anything of that nature. Harley is present. New recruits are always available, but a leader is irreplaceable. Remember that.
Warning to the Vanguards. Remove the unidentified object at coordinates 2314-5873. Failure to comply will be deemed an act of war.
Warning to the Embryon. Remove the unidentified object at coordinates 2314-5873. Failure to comply will be deemed an act of war.
What happened? Where are the Vanguards?
My chest is on fire.
Leader! thoughts. Strange. I feel like I've met this girl before. I want to know more about her. I'm sure you feel the same, Surf.
Heat, how is she?
Still sleeping.
She did not have a tag ring. Who could she be?
The woman is not our concern. The ramifications of the battle are unclear. What are these markings? Our priority is to clarify the situation.
I will go to the Vanguards.
To the Vanguard's territory?
I will. They may have an answer for us. Surf and I will go. And one more. The rest will stay and guard the base.
I will go. I want an explanation.
This is Yohhamgambal, and I'm here with, as you can see, brand new LP of Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga, and I am extremely excited to play this game. This is a very fun RPG. I've been wanting to do this game for a while. I'm actually gotten really into the Shin Megami Tensei part of the series. I actually like the Shin Megami Tensei part of the series more than I like the Persona series so far. And there's a couple of reasons to that, but, I mean, both are good. But anyways, let's talk about this game. So, this is for the PS2, Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga, and as we've seen, some crazy stuff's going down, and I'm just exploring our base, and there's a couple of items there, and there's a couple of characters who actually give us some information about the world and kind of things like that. But really quick, just so you know, if my commentary sounds a little different, it is because this is actually pre-recorded, so all of these videos are pre-recorded and I'm just putting my voice over it, which is different than what I usually do, which is live. And so there we just met the mysterious girl we found, so she's going to be a little important later. But yeah, though this is pre-recorded, and I want to do that for a couple reasons. One, I haven't done an RPG in a while, so I just kind of wanted to do something different with it. Two, it allows me to do a lot more editing. I feel like I can streamline a lot of the stuff I feel a little better. 3, it lets me really have my thoughts together for each part, which I think is really important. And 4, I wanted to talk about a lot of the mythos behind the creatures we run across, because that's one of my favorite things about the Shin Megami Tensei series, is the creatures we run across, and their mythos is so great because they're from real, from real legends. But I can't really do that and play the game at the same time, so I have some stuff so I can look at that while I watch the game. And here is the vendor, the shop. So really quick, you don't ever want to buy anything from the vendor. Mainly because your currency Maka in this game is so important for later on. You need it to use it to get these abilities for your characters. And they get extraordinarily expensive. And most of the time, items you can find, you can just find most items instead of just buying them. So it's way better to just find them. So trust me, the money is so important in this game, but you don't ever want to buy stuff in the shop, especially not ammo for your guns, because there's one time you ever need it, and even then you don't. So yeah. So anyways, this Umbran member is telling us about the large terminals and small terminals, and the large terminals basically just let us save and let us teleport to other large terminals in certain levels, while the small terminals will only let us save. They don't let you teleport. I mean, they let you teleport to the large terminals, but you can't teleport the small terminals. And you can also heal only at the large terminals, but healing does require Maka. So again, another reason why your money is important, not for items. But it's so inexpensive though, you can heal all the time. The cost for healing is not even like really even a factor. It's just something that you pay for. But yeah, though, like I said, I wanted to really go over, like, I wanted to look at the mythos behind each creature because I really like mythology, even though I have a terrible time remembering it. I just find other cultures' mythos is very fascinating. I think they're very interesting because, you know, it really tells a lot about a culture and the people, and I just find them interesting. You know, they're cool. So, yeah. But, yeah, there's not much else we can do. We kind of just got to go to the Vanguards. We got to go to the Vanguards, but I'm doing some exploring. I'm showing you some stuff, and there's not a whole bunch we can do at our base at the moment. There's never really a lot you can do. There's just a couple of items. There are some items we can't get yet because we need to get some items that will allow us to pass through certain barriers. Here we have. I'm gonna, for some reason, start like pausing the game to show you what the items do, but I already know what they do, so I'll just tell you. Chakra drops just heal 50% of your mana, so 50% of your MP. So yeah, chakra drops do that. They're pretty good though. They're pretty useful in the beginning because you have so little MP. That's pretty much like a full heal on your MP. And then this poisons obviously heal poison. So you know, again, not a big deal because a lot of the status inflictions in this game, there's some that are very dangerous and some that are kind of not really too big of a deal. Like, poison isn't too big of a deal for the most part. Actually, now I think about it, poison might be the only one that's not too big of a deal. The other ones are actually kind of annoying. And then Soma Drop is basically just a full heal on one character. So it heals all their HP and it heals all their MP. And you actually can get a lot of those throughout the game. And I don't even, like, use them for the most part until, like, the secret boss we're going to fight, which is super hard. But, yeah, so just so you know, too, I am going to be fighting every secret boss in this game. So that includes all the secret bosses and all that crazy stuff. So you'll see. So we're just talking the Heat and Argilla. Not much is going on. I don't know, but the Stridge Bark's pretty cool. You've never seen people with black hair. That's interesting. But yeah, though, one interesting thing about the world we're in, it's called the Junkyard. It's always raining. I don't know if that factors in anything, but it's actually kind of an interesting little tidbit that it's always raining. Just kind of neat, I think. I don't know. Kind of adds something to the world. But yeah, a lot of these characters will actually usually have something new to say. I'll make sure to try and talk to them, but sometimes I might. So yeah, it's just talking about the 6 tribes. We're one of them, but the Umbrans are the smallest tribe. And then the world is called the Junkyard. Yep. And then just talking about a war we've been fighting for years, but apparently no one really guesses remember how it starts, only that they want to reach a place called Nirvana, which will become very more important in the next part as we learn more about it. Yeah, talking about supplies. But yeah, though, like I said, not much else to do in the base. Okay, well, let's go. I want to explain more mechanics, but I can't really until they start showing up, so we'll see. And again, sorry if my commentary seems a little weird. This is the first time I've ever done pre-recorded commentary, and I haven't done an RPG in a while, too, so, you know. Anyways, I actually go to the ground 0 level because there's a couple of items you can get here. And also, you probably noticed that it said your characters start getting hungry. That actually will happen every now and then if you don't battle for a certain amount of time and win fights, if I remember correctly. You actually lose a little bit of your HP. It's not a huge amount, but it's just something that happens occasionally. But it's not really something that happens that often because most of the time you are fighting enemies. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, so we're the Orange Tribe. Cool. But yeah, though, if you come here, you can get rations. 5, I think it's just 5 rations. I don't remember. But other than that, though, I don't think there's really any other items to get. It's just, you can just talk to Argilla and Heat about, the woman you found and the giant hole. I don't know, man. Everyone got struck in the chest by a light and started growing marks on their faces. And everyone got really hungry. Like, very hungry. Like, everyone wanted a snack. Okay, now we're gonna go to this place whose name I will not even try to pronounce because holy crap. Okay, I'll try. Shavad Ishhishtana. I don't know. But yeah, this is our first dungeon, I guess. It's pretty easy. It eases you in pretty easily.
Wrong. There are no guards.
That works. Let us go.
Alright, so here we go. And I think yeah, there's a vendor, but again, there's nothing to buy. There are some things you might want to buy later on, but you have to wait until you sell a certain amount of these certain objects that you can get from enemies and from boxes, and you just have to wait for a certain amount of time. Interesting enough, though, it seems like no one in this world seems to have any sense of emotion. Everyone seems very blank and facet. There's no emotion, it seems, because he was talking about fear, and we asked, well, what the hell's fear? Apparently, we don't know what any fear is, so yeah. Anyways, there's the large terminal. Again, you can save at those and heal, and you can use them to teleport to other large terminals. I'm also gonna see. There's the healing right there. I'm also gonna cut out any saving, and I'm also gonna cut out any battles of enemies we've already fought before. So you will only see new encounters, or if the encounter is special. So yeah, that will really help streamline the video, I think. But I'm really excited to do this game because like I said, I've really gotten into the Shin Megami Tensei series games. Because like I said, I like Persona. I want to play Persona 1. I've been playing through Persona 2. And I like Persona 3, obviously. Persona 4 is fun, but for some reason I can't get into it that much. And Persona 5 is a lot of fun, especially just because it's so stylish. But I find like this game and Nocturne so much more interesting and way more fun, in my opinion. It's not as stylish as Persona 5, but you know that these are really good games. But yeah. So anyways, there's another blue wall there. Can't do anything about that. One nice thing though is that if you go up to them, it shows them on your map, so you can remember if you want to go back there. And you really do want to go to every blocked door that you find later on in the game, because there's usually lots of goodies, and a lot of them will actually hold secret bosses, which again, I will fight them all. But there's a couple different colors. There's red. I'm sorry, red is like the last one we'll ever go through. There's blue, even though the blue looks turquoise and green sometimes. Blue, yellow, and red. I believe there's only 3: blue, yellow, red. Yeah. So yeah. But it's good to get them, because usually there's goodies behind the barrier, so I want to make sure you do that. Anyways, you just want to activate the switch because you can't go any farther, but you don't want to activate. If you can get a treasure if you don't activate it. You don't have to get the treasure, obviously, but it's good, you know. You want to explore these levels in depth because, you know, you get a lot of goodies, and it gives you more time to train and gives you more opportunity to gain Maka, which again, you need so much money in this game. It's pretty money intense. You'll see why later on, relatively soonish, but it requires a lot of money. And anyways, right there, we just picked up a revival bead, and revival beads just heal some of your allies' HP. Now the funny thing is though, revival bead is obviously a weaker form of another object we can find, which is called revival gem, I believe, and more chakra drops. Revival gem, and revival gem allows us to completely heal someone's HP when we're bringing them back from the death. And the funny thing is, I've always had more revival gems than I've ever had revival beads. For some reason, I've always had more of the stronger healing revival item than I've had the weaker one, and I have no idea why.
Don't come any closer. No. Stay back. Don't eat me. Please.
Harley, what are you saying?
You murdered them and ate them all. You all turned into monsters. And then you devoured all of my men. That light, that weird light, shot right through us. And then everyone started freaking the hell out.
Don't!
Everyone started attacking each other. You ripped them apart with your bare hands. And then...
Stop! Be quiet!
God, help me!
Shut up! Couldn't have. No. Not me. I didn't do that. I didn't eat those people. I couldn't have. It wasn't me.
Alright, and here we have our first battle against two ghouls, and this is really easy. Anyways, here's the explanation. The icons on the left are our turns, and when we use up a turn, one of the little hexagons will disappear, but if we hit an enemy with its weakness or a critical, it will glow, and thus giving us another chance to hit it with another weakness or critical, giving us another turn. It's not very confusing. It's easier to see than it is to say. But anyways, though, these guys are really easy. They don't pose a threat, even the slightest. And as you can see, it's glowing right there because I passed a turn. Because I wanted Surf to finish them up because he's just stronger than Argilla. And so we leveled up. And Surf, since he's the main character, you can kind of attribute his points to whatever you want. I like to make him, in this game, a complete magic user, just because I like the magic in this game. He's just... You can make him whatever you want. A physical, a support, a magic, but I prefer magic for him.
Happening to us. No, I can't eat them.
Why do you hesitate? Circumstances are different now. If you refuse to eat, you will perish like them.
Yep, so our characters are basically, I guess, cannibals in a sense because they're eating other humans who have turned into monsters. But now this is important because you gain Atma, which is what allows you to learn new abilities. But since Argilla is not eating any of the enemies at the moment, she will not gain any Atma so that she can learn new abilities. And right now, as you can see, Heat's gonna learn some new abilities soon, and Argilla is well, she won't for a while, but so yeah, just different. That's how you gain new abilities. And as you can see, those are our stats. So yeah, interesting thing is though, our characters are all mythological creatures, so their histories are pretty cool. Oh goodness gracious, lots going on. So now there will actually be random encounters. This base isn't too big, so it doesn't take too long to finish. But now we have random encounters, and so here we have, these are Alps. They're pretty easy to kill, but they will try and put you to sleep. And let me see, I have my stuff on Alps, because Alps, I wanna read what Alps are kind of about. Okay, so Alps are basically just succubuses, but they're German. They're kind of the German variety of succubuses from folklore. So yep, not much else about Alps that I really have, just that they're kind of German succubuses. That's interesting. But yeah, they're not too hard. And they can also heal with die, but again, Dia, I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah. Just keep hitting them with your attacks. Oh, actually, you know what, though? Since we're on some downtime, let's see. So, our main character, Surf, he actually has Varuna, if I'm pronouncing that right. And Varuna is actually pretty cool. He's like, he's from Vedic mythology. I don't know what that is, but that sounds really cool. Vedic mythology. And he's, known as being a very, omnipotent and omnipotent, can't pronounce the word, being, and also brings rain and is the enforcer of contracts. So, and his name means he who covers. So yeah, and just so you know, I'm reading this all from the Shin Megami Tensei wiki, so it's not like I've done any adept research. It's just something pulled up real quick because I think it's interesting, and it's pretty interesting though because he. Depending on, I guess, the variation of him, he is like controller over the ocean, but then he later becomes god of the oceans and rivers and keepers of the souls of people who have drowned. So that's pretty interesting. And he is all ice, though, so our main character focuses on ice. I mean, the interesting thing is, though, the way the abilities work in this game, you can make your character learn any ability. Any ability. It just costs money. Now, whether they're useful in that ability is different depending on the stats that they have allocated? The stats that they have. So, Heat, for example, is very physically oriented, but he could learn all of Surf's super strong ice moves if I taught him, but he wouldn't be nearly as good as Surf or Argilla, since they're both going to be very magically strong. So, yeah. And there you go, I just cut out the battle because it was just an enemy we already saw. One thing I really like about this game, though, is that it tells you if there's, like, a cutscene that's going to happen or a strong enemy is behind the door. So you kind of have an idea if you're going to fight a boss or things like that, which makes it kind of helpful. And Harley's just raising the wall. He's just running away. Because another interesting thing is when the characters start gaining emotion, their eyes change color. And so it seems like he is very fearful, and his eyes are orange. Now here we have these weird creatures who are basically chicken bodies. They're called Onmorakai, and they're like bird demons created. They're basically bird demons created from spirits of freshly dead corpses, which is really interesting. It's weird. They're weird, but they're kind of cool. Oh yeah, so we just leveled up again. No big deal. So I'm really, like I said, focusing on magic, and I'm trying to even out his other stats too, because strength, his other stats, because I'm not going to put any into the strength, but strength is kind of important because strength determines not only physical damage, but how much physical damage you take. Vitality is obviously how much life you have. Magic is how much magical damage you take, and your MP you have. Agility is how often you will get hit and how often you can hit enemies with your physical attacks. And luck just kind of critical. I believe it also affects if instant kill attacks will hit you more likely, or an item drop rate, I believe. And as you can see, I hit that cockatrice with a ice move, and it was weak to it, and our hexagon glowed. So if I hit it with another move it was weak to, another hexagon would have glowed, and thus I would have had even more extra turns. But unfortunately, I'm out of MP, so I'm going to use a chakra drop, but you don't really need to. The cockatrices are pretty easy. And this is kind of like a mid-boss, I guess, but it's not very hard. Now, cockatrices are interesting because the way they work in mythology is that they're born from a chicken, I believe. A chicken will lay the egg, but then a serpent or, let me see, I have it right here. A serpent or a serpent or a toad has to incubate the egg. So that's interesting. I don't know how that works, but that's just how that's interesting. And they also have the ability to freeze enemies or freeze anybody that looks at them with their gaze. So they're very similar to Medusa in that way, but they don't come from Greek mythology. I believe they are English. I think they come more from the English side of mythology or whatever. But you can kill them by using a mirror, I believe. Anyways, I'm showing this battle mainly because it's not like a side boss cockatrice, but I wanted to show you I froze him, and freezing is an amazing stat because when an enemy is frozen, all physical attacks will always be critical. Your physical attacks will always be critical, and thus, see, look at all those extra turns I get. I get all those extra turns, which are really nice. Bam! He did. Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, so let me see. Now that we got those guys, try not to go through this too fast, but I like looking at these things. Let's go through Heat. Now, Heat actually has... Oh, let's see. Oh, no, just another cutout. Oh, and I leveled up too. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Heat is actually Agani, who is another verdict god. He is the god of fire and the receiver of sacrifices and the messenger of the god. And apparently he lives in everyone's hearths? I must be rereading that wrong, but either hearth, I don't know what a hearth is. But it's apparently the vital spark of life. So, that's pretty interesting. And he has he's usually described to have 2 faces. And he has 7 fiery tongues with sharpened gold teeth and red skin. So he kind of looks like Heat, who has 2 heads and a lot of teeth. And he has 2 faces, so that's actually a pretty good representation of him. Anyways, we have slimes here. They're really easy. They're not hard at all. And we also have these guys right here. Even though I killed them real quick, those guys, I think their name is Patrices. No, they're not. I don't remember what their names are. But they have a habit of using Zao, which is the electricity spell, and they will also call for reinforcements. And I think they can also use Zan, which is the force magic spell, which is what Argilla is weak to. She is weak to force magic. But yeah. Oh, and right there. Slime is frightened. Unfortunately, I can't capitalize on that, but what that means is if you have a move, there's certain moves in this game that allow you to eat the enemy, and when you do that, you gain a bunch more Atma points. So you gain a bunch more Atma points, but it's a little hard to do that because the moves usually aren't that strong, or if you do eat them, you can sometimes give your character a stomach ache, and then when that happens, they won't get any Atma at all. And also, when a character eats an enemy like that with a Devour move, only the one character eating it will get the Atma. Unless they have a special ability called Shared Atma, then the other characters will get it too, but normally just the one character will get it. And he just mastered his mantra. So now we can actually set it with some fire abilities. So right now we can only set it 4 abilities, but later on we'll be able to set more. Even though he, like I said, is a physical user, it's not a bad idea to put some magic on him just because it's not always about doing a ton of damage. It's just maybe getting that extra bonus turn, which can be really helpful. Now this area right here, we can't do anything about for now. There's only an item here we can grab, but we will come back here later in the game to continue on with the story. So this place is important to remember, but we can't do anything about that at the moment. So we're just not even going to worry about it. And so there's only one. Let's see. So we've done Surfs and Heats, and Argilla's is the only one we haven't really done yet. Oh, more points. Yeah, you can have a ton of MP really fast if you just focus all on magic. But I am trying to even it out a little bit. But yeah. So it seems like so far, all 3 of our main characters have verdict gods, and Argilla's god, I'm going to pronounce this completely wrong too, is Prithvi, and that is the goddess of fertility and the wife of Dyaus, and the mother of many gods such as Indra, Agina, and Ushia. So, Argilla's avatar tuner, which is what they call the monsters, is Heat's avatar tuner, so that's interesting. Oh, and right there, this green terminal right here, this will let you heal life, because the small red terminals only let you save. You can't heal life with them. So, yeah, that's what they're there for. Sometimes, though, you will find little pockets of green energy on the floor that will heal your life for free, but they're in rare places, so, yeah. Oh, and here we have some more members of the Vanguard, but they're not going to be too difficult. There are 2 new enemies, and this battle is supposed to teach you about using void techniques. And void techniques are actually pretty useful because they allow you to obviously negate certain magic, and later on there's better forms of it where you can absorb it or reflect it. And yeah, you want it. It's pretty useful. It can be really useful depending on the fight. So these are Impusas. Impusas. It's a weird name. They're not too hard, but they will use Bufa. But you can just void it. And interesting too, if you actually void an enemy's attack with like with a shield, it will pretty good amount of the time actually frighten them, and then they'll be too scared to attack you, and then you can eat them. So yeah, what was Argillas though? So it seems like Argilla too though is also in Hindu myths as well. Something to do with being forced, I guess, to basically, she turned herself into a cow. It seems like, yeah, turned herself into a cow because she didn't want to keep making babies. Something along that. I would have to read more into it because, like I said, this is just a real brief reading of it, but it's just something I find interesting. But yeah. Oh, anyways, and then so I learned some new moves. Oh, see, now I can use Health Thrust, which is it's whatever, but Devour is what I want because that's what we really use to get a lot of the Atama, because that just makes the training a little quicker. Let's see, I think we run. Yep, here's Harley again, and he's bailing, and he's pretty fast. Now I want to Impusas, the enemy we just fought, are from Greek mythology. And it's a female supernatural monster or demoness. Okay. Okay, so it would scare people to death or eat travelers along paths, along uninhibited roads. So that's interesting. So anyways, as you can see, I'm showing this fight because you were like, well, we already fought slimes. And we did, but I wanted to show you what it looked like when you ate an enemy. So thankfully, I did not get a stomach ache because, again, stomach aches are really annoying. And stomach aches are a status that don't go away after battle. There's some that won't go after battle, like poison, and no, I think stone goes away, but stomach ache doesn't. And stomach ache will actually do a little damage to you every turn as well. So it's kind of annoying because you can't gain any Atama, so you can't get stronger, which is really annoying. Okay, and Harley's gonna bail again. Okay, and we gotta trap him. Thankfully, though, there's tools we could use to trap him here with, so that won't be too hard at all. So we just gotta go back and find a switch and pull it. But yeah, though, if you, I mean, like I said, that's one of the reasons why I really like the Shin Megami Tensei games, is just the mythos. And again, this was a really, really quick just kind of reading of it, so it's not like anything in-depth I had prepared. It's just something I had looked at and I just kind of have, because I just wanted to read it during the downtime of these parts. But you should definitely look at them yourself, because they're really interesting. And maybe I'll do more in-depth looking into some of the more interesting ones I find. We'll see. I'm just really excited to play this game, because this is a really good game. I love the... Oh, here we have these special objects. These usually carry these things. Okay, they'll either usually carry bullets or these things called cells. They're usually referred to as cells, and you just sell them basically, but not like SELL. They're CELL. But we just got a bullet, and I just gave it the serve. But again, it doesn't matter because you never use your bullets. You can turn into a human in the battle, and sometimes when you're ambushed, you'll usually be in your human form, but you never want to be in your human form to fight. There's no reason. There's only maybe one reason why you'd want to be in your human form, maybe two, because there are a couple of enemies that are weak to bullets, but they're few and far between, and you also can't be hurt. You completely void expel magic. So, I mean, I guess there's that, but it's useless. Anyways, we have some demons right here. What are these things called? I forgot. Demon Murillo. I think those are just wandering evil spirits. I have the thing ready for it. I have my notes on it. Murillo. Moruyo. Yeah, so these are just spirits that fail to ascend to nirvana. So they're just spirits that reside in mountains. Okay. Reveal. And the cockatrice is poisoned. It's kind of funny. The cockatrice just got like a huge ball sack under its neck. It's weird. Oh, it'll be so nice when we get some new moves. And like I said, it's kind of the beginning's not hard, but the only thing that's kind of annoying about the beginning is because Argilla isn't eating enemies, she is not gaining any Atma points, and thus she cannot gain any abilities. She's leveling up, which is still good, but we can't get her to level up her mantra yet. And I don't know if I explained this, but mantras are what gives you the abilities, but they all cost money, so they're expensive as hell. Harley's got some quick feet, I tell you what. And I was standing. Okay, there we go. I must have been picking my nose or something. Sometimes, you know, you just gotta pick your nose. You know, playing some Digital Devil Saga, gotta pick that nose. You know, it happens occasionally. Lots of fighting. Not nearly as much fighting as Nocturne, but still a bit. I can't wait to LP that game. But we're here right now. Let's focus on this game. And for some reason, I think I head back to the healing station, but there's a healing station in front because we're pretty much at the end of this level. The only thing we need to do is fight the boss. But yeah, other than that, there's not a ton more to do, so. But I think I do go back to healing. Thankfully, healing doesn't take a too large of a toll on your wallet because money is so important in this game. You really can't waste it on items in the store. Or anything else. There's some items you might want to buy in the store. It's not a bad idea to maybe buy some like this stones, or actually no, it's not a bad idea to buy this stomach ache, because I don't think there is a spell in the game that allows you to get rid of the stomach ache. So you basically need to buy Pepto-Bismol for your character. Otherwise, there's no other way for you to get rid of it. But yeah. I really like this transition in the battle with the hexagons. It's pretty cool. I like the hexagon. It's got a lot of hexagons. It's a nice shape. Anyways, there's the wall that blocked Harley. We come in here. We go up the stairs. And I don't think there's anything. Yeah. Just checking behind me. You never know, because this game likes to hide items behind you. There he goes again. You'd think Harley would lock the door, but I guess they don't have... I was about to say they don't have door locking technology, but they do, so I don't know. So yeah, if you feel like you're not ready to fight a boss, you can actually do a little grinding here. It's not a bad... It's okay, because you can fight cockatrices and slimes here, and they give you a relatively decent amount of Atma and experience. Plus, you can scare them both, and then you can eat them for even more additional points. And if you get a stomach ache, you can just heal at the terminal. The terminal will heal your stomach ache. It's just that there's no spell or other items, I believe, that do. So yeah. And I got Ice Blast, which is basically just a weak ice attack. So yeah, it's just a weak ice attack, so it doesn't really matter too much. And yeah, there's a life terminal, so there was no need to run all the way over there before, but it's okay. And I think now, though, I'm going to go ahead and buy a new mantra because I have the money, and we can. No, we can't yet. Okay, it doesn't let you yet. Normally, you can buy mantras at the small terminals, too, but it's not going to let you right now, unfortunately. You got to wait. So let's just open the door and say hi to Harley. Maybe we can talk to him. Tell him we're not going to eat him.
Stay away.
Harley, tell us what's going on.
That is not important. Who exactly is the girl?
What girl? Please don't. I don't know anything. I'm telling you the truth.
Why don't you know? We were the only ones on the battlefield. Now who is the girl? Where did she come from? Answer me, Harley. Why the hell can't I get that girl out of my mind?
Please. I really don't know. I see now. There is one thing I finally understand. In this world, it's eat or be eaten!
Alright, and here we have the first boss of the game, who is really, really easy and is a weird zebra man. He's weak to ice, and he also will hit you with fire attacks, so make sure you put up Void, otherwise it's going to do some damage to Surf, and he'll get an extra turn on you, which is not what you want. Now this thing's actually really weird, because underneath it's like chest plate, it has like tiny little arms. It's really weird. But that's basically the strategy. He'll also try and he'll try and skewer you, but it's also considered a fire type move, so you can completely negate any damage. And if you get if you can freeze him, that's really nice. But you should still use Void. I don't use it this turn. I think I skip a turn using it, and I do get hit with a fire move. It doesn't kill me, but it does do a little bit of damage. But so this creature is actually oh gosh, have fun pronouncing this name. Heagriva, and it's a horse deity presented in Hinduism and Buddhism. Let's see. It represents knowledge and wisdom. It's sometimes seen as a white horse who pulls the sun into the sky every morning. And I guess let's see. It's also a deity of compassion in Tibetan Buddhism. Interesting. Oh, and there's this. Yeah, he's just gonna roast us and tender us. And he also has Void Ice, so make sure that when an enemy has a Void, you don't hit them with it, obviously, because you lose a crap ton of turns. Yeah, hitting enemies with attacks that they absorb, counter, or Void will make you lose a bunch of turns. Almost all of your turns sometimes. So yeah, he apparently is in two different, he resides in two different religions for his mythology, which is actually pretty interesting, but each one is somewhat considered its own entity, I guess. Interesting. But yeah, though, I actually kind of like this thing's design, despite its creepy tiny little arms. Everyone's got blades and stuff. Heat's Avatar Tuner's funny too. The fact that it has two heads. It's really funny when you make him use an item, he pulls one of the items out of his heads, like out of his mouth. And there goes Harley. And it's also funny when you use Void, all of your characters have like a defense. They all have like their arms up or something, like they're defending. And again, more points, and we almost have 100 MP, and we're only level 7. That's pretty decent. I could have more, but I'm also trying to really make sure that I have a lot of vitality because I don't have a lot of defense. So if I get hit by anything physical, it's going to do a lot of damage. So I just need to balance it out with my weaker physical defense. But magic attacks I can take like a champ.
Harley didn't know anything. Let's get out of here.
And now Heat is a little emotional. He's got red eyes.
So weak. Surf, we must get back to the base.
Okie dokie, Argilla. So yep, there's our first boss. Oh my gosh, Heat, we get it. You like eating people. So now that we defeated Charlie, all the vanguards now will follow us. So our army has just grown in size. Yep, I am adequately equipped. Other than that, though, there's not much else to do, and I think I'm going to end... I know I'm going to end the video here. And here's an item I missed for some reason. So I'm going to end the video here. I hope you come for the next part of Digital Devil Saga as we head back to the Umbran base. So this has been Yohhamgambal. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Okay, bye then.